Hello.
Hello.
Are you looking at buying your first house in the UK? Like you're looking at, I want to own a home that I will call my own home.
Yeah,
You might be an immigrant and you have heard a lot that it is difficult, it is taxing. Yeah, it is. But we are here to share our story with you.
yeah,
We're
how
here
we did
to
it.
to tell you more about how we did it and some of the steps we took in times of savings. So I want to talk to you about how do you actually need to save for your first home, even if
Yeah.
you're an immigrant or not an immigrant. But let's talk about how do you want to save for your first home in the UK.
So if we're able to do it in 2 years, then you can do
You
it too.
can do it. You
Yeah.
can do it. My name is Vic, and my
My
beautiful
name
wife
is
here is.
Debbie.
All right. We hope that you will have a very great time with us. Let's dive right into this video. You will agree with me indeed that property ownership is something that is essential.
Yeah.
People have known to build wealth also through properties, and there is this thing you have when you feel that this home is actually yours. You can decorate it as you want. You can do some touches to that you want. It's just that thing, this is home,
Yeah.
you
That
know.
feeling of security
Yeah.
in your own house. Like someone will not come and tell you that, oh, we need you to move out. Give you, is it 21 days notice to say eviction?
All right.
Just kidding. But then it's just nice to have your own house, yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to saving for your first home in the UK, from our experience, one of the things we did was to set a goal.
Yeah.
We had a goal. This is the goal. The goal was to get a house, and we wanted to get it in 2 years or less. That was the
Yeah,
plan. We
that
had
was
a
our plan.
definite goal. Yeah.
Yeah, we had actually made that goal before. Yeah, it was before we moved to the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made the goal. We said we were going to buy a house in 2 years in the UK, and because we had the goal, one thing about goals is that it keeps you running. So it
Mhm.
kept us on our feet because we knew that we wanted to achieve something, and then that was what informed most of the decisions we make upon when we got into the UK. Yeah.
So you will meet naysayers, people that will tell you it's not possible. You will
Yeah.
meet people that say some people have been here for the past 10 years as immigrants and they've not done it. You will meet naysayers, but believe in your goal, and that will have a way of, channeling you towards looking for associations of people that have done it to be able to talk to. And if you don't
Yeah.
have any, at least you are watching our video
Yeah,
now, and
yeah.
by virtue of that, you will be able to also learn from our own experiences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the next thing that we did was to do some homework in times of doing a research to understand how much do we actually need to buy
Yeah,
this
yeah. I
house.
think if you're going to set a goal, you have to be able to set. There's this smart acronym that says it has to be specific, measurable. So you have to know exactly what it is that
Mhm.
how much you need to save to be able to get your first house in the UK. So that was you can check. There are so many online platforms that you
Yeah.
can use
Like
to.
Zoopla,
Yeah,
like Rightmove, right?
yeah.
So there are so many. So you could, but Zoopla and Rightmove seems to be the most popular one
Yeah,
in
to
the
check
UK.
houses in your area. Yeah.
So you can check houses in your area or in an area that you are looking at buying. That will give you an idea. I've had people ask me questions like, how do I know that this particular house worth this particular amount? I tell them, just go to the postcode in the area, check for houses that have been sold recently,
In your
that
house,
in
yeah,
that
in that
area you
area.
want to buy
Okay.
a house. That will give you an idea to understand this is the amount that most likely a two-bed or a three-bed is going to cost here. And for example, if you know that it's going to cost you £200,000 to buy the house, then you begin to, how do I fund it? Some people might have all the money, have £200,000 to drop.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's the money.
awesome. But if you don't have, like we didn't have that amount. So we started looking at ways to fund it. And the UK is a credit economy where if you can know how to put things together and then you can show that, prove that evidence that you can, continue paying for it, then you can have borrowers that will borrow you that money, and that comes to the place of mortgage. And then,
Yeah,
so you learn a little bit about mortgage. When we started, we find out that averagely, a lot of them were like 10%.
Yeah,
Averagely,
yeah,
you can
averagely.
get more than that or something, but averagely like
So
10%.
that 10% is usually LTV. They call it loan to value ratio. So most lenders would want you to put a 10% deposit to be able to like get a loan from them. There are some that offers lower rates, then maybe 5% for first time buyers. So you have to do your research like my husband mentioned, so that you know what is applicable and where you can get most of this information is actually online, so you can just type it on Google and you check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always a need of a mortgage advisor. The same way when it comes to insurance, there is a need for it. You can always talk to me. So
Yeah, it does insurance,
I
guys.
do
And
insurance professionally as a license, both for home insurance, life insurance, and all that. And gradually turning also towards becoming a mortgage advisor. So I mean, I can also provide some
advice.
advice to
Yeah.
you, some guidance to you also in that aspect when it comes to mortgage and also when it comes to the insurance part also of the house.
Yeah, I would say that the one thing you can do after you've done your research is start taking the step of faith. So when I mean step of faith is that you don't have to have your complete savings before you start viewing houses. Okay, just to know what is applicable. We started from when we started the we got the idea of, oh, let's buy
Hmm.
a house, to when we actually put in an offer for a house was around 6 months, because it's a
No, not the
was it
offer to get it completed.
no, I mean when we viewed several houses
Okay,
before we
okay.
at the time we even got tired that we were like, oh, we're not viewing houses again. And then before we were able to fine tune based on all the things we've
Yeah,
seen to
yeah.
say this is the kind of house we wanted. And then when we saw this house, we were like, oh yes, this is what we want. So that is why I was saying that take the step of faith. You know, just start viewing houses. Just go to right move, go to Supla, click talk to agent or contact agent or show your interest, and then tell them that you'd like to view the house. Ask them how much it is. Start putting in the offers. So the idea might be to put in a low ball offer, which would help you get a your house below the market value, which would help you in the long run. For example, if a house was supposed to be sold for 150K or 200K, and then you remove 10K from it to say, I'd like to pay, I'm offering you 120K, you can get lucky and then they will accept, or they can say no, and then you keep it moving. And then some houses you view it and it will just be a total waste of your time. But it's a process, so you can start viewing whilst you're saving also.
Yeah, yeah. So, and usually it takes sometimes about 6 months to complete the entire process, also. So, I think I've also advised the couple that reached out at the time, they were planning to ask, how much do you have? How much do you need? With what they needed, I saw that in the next 3 to 4 months, they should be able to save the rest. And I told them, hey, you can start, even if you don't have the entire deposit on ground, because it usually takes some time,
Yeah,
before the entire process is completed eventually. So you could start looking out for and stuff. The next thing we did was savings. The entire topic itself is about savings.
yeah,
Savings is a big part of trying to put money down for your deposit in order to get your first home in
yeah,
the UK. Savings, if you are a business person, but I will assume a lot of new immigrant or young coming in most times that have not spent so much. A lot of people possibly are not running a business. Maybe you are working or you are running a business as a side thing, depends. But whatever you are doing, either a business or a job, you are earning an income, so savings from your income. I would say that for us, we saved rigorously. I will use
yeah,
that
yeah.
word. And that was really, really helpful and instrumental to us, because we didn't have to go, ask one friend or something. We actually, bankrolled everything from our savings. And sometimes in the process of savings, it might take you not, friends asking for money and all the times, and you're
Making
not just jumping, making
sacrifices.
sacrifices, learning how to budget and say, this is the budget. And when you have that money saved somewhere, if anybody comes, you just tell them, oh, sorry, I don't have, I've gone beyond my budget and stuff like that, because you are saving for something, you have a goal you are saving for. So
Yeah, yeah.
savings is very critical when it comes to owning your property. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was how we were able to like achieve our goals very fast. At some point, our bank, Lloyd's Bank, was even sending us mails to say, yeah, we want to borrow you money to buy your house
Based on what they
based
can
on how
see
much we
on
had
our
in our
savings.
savings. So it was very helpful, and that was one of the things that gingered us to say, oh yeah, we could, if Lloyd's Bank is saying, oh, we could lend you this amount of money to buy your first house, and then we're just like, okay, yeah, maybe it's time to talk to a mortgage advisor, which was what we did to be able to know what is applicable, because initially I thought that we needed to get on a more permanent visa, if you know what I mean, to be able to, before we buy a house, maybe get ILR or something. But I now discovered that when we talk to a mortgage advisor, that we don't need that. We don't
Yeah.
necessarily need that, because there was a time we thought that we needed to stay for 3 years
Or for even 5 years or
before we
something.
can qualify for a mortgage, but that's not true. So you can just talk to a mortgage advisor. I would even say talk to them right now, since because you're watching this video, it shows that you're actually considering buying a house soon. So just talk to them. They'll be able to like tell you what lenders are offering based on your own unique situation. So
Mm-hmm.
it's usually based on how much you earn, how long you've stayed in the country, and all of that. So they'll be able to give you different rates to look for. So it's always advisable. Most of mortgage advisors consult for free. So look for people that do that in your area and just have a free consultation with them and know how much you can actually borrow. And if they tell you that you don't have enough, it's fine. You just know, it helps you to keep you on track, to know that, oh yes, I need to save this amount more to be able to qualify for a mortgage. So just talk to them to know what is applicable in your own unique situation.
Yeah, review your spendings, find ways to cut down your spendings.
Yeah,
If you are planning for something, you can't just keep spending that way you're spending, all
yeah,
right? So you need to look at that. Where can you cut down? Can you cut down your outing? Can you cut down on your lifestyle? Just look at ways you can cut down. Sometimes check your phone, some of the direct debits that you have on those bank apps. Are there some that you don't even know they are there? They just keep going out, but yet you are
yeah,
not even using what you are doing those direct debit for. So you need to look at that. How do I cut things down? If you are, Africa from, an immigrant, depending on where you're coming from, the concept of black tax also,
yeah,
look at that.
sending money
Can you
home
cut down some of those things, because you have a goal, you need to also achieve something. So yeah.
before you, yeah, you need to achieve your goals before you help others. You have to, so you can set a budget like my husband rightly said, and then when you've exceeded that budget, you're like, okay, yeah, till next month, and then look at it. Do you really need Netflix, Disney Plus, BBC, all of those things? Like, how many hours do you have in a day that you have to actually watch them? So can you get a lower subscription rate for your phone? Because the funny thing is that you don't know, but those money, the extra £10 there, the extra
Mm-hmm.
£100 there, the extra £50 there, it adds up. So you just need £100 to become £1,000. So just think about it and try to cut savings anywhere you can. You can even have like a shopping freeze, so that you just look for different ways to explore your wardrobe whilst not buying any new clothing, so that you can be able to save up and reach your target. Yeah,
Yeah, another way also when trying to save for a house, something you should look at is seeing if it's possible to get a more high paying job. If you
yeah.
need to change job, if you need to learn a new skill, because the more you can earn, the
The
more
more
you
you can
possibly
save.
can save
Yeah,
also.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this is important. It's something we have to look at, So you have to look at that, because if you are earning something a little bit higher, that you can cover all your bills and others and still have something good, then you can save and invest.
yeah.
But if what you're earning can't even comfortably take care
Pay
of
your
you and you have
bills.
something, then it is difficult for us to start talking about savings or for us to start talking about
Yeah,
investment. So
yeah,
you need to look at that. how do I increase my income? It could be changing the job. It could be working in the same job where you are, but see if you can get promotion or see if you can get a raise. It could be doing a side gig, a side hustle, maybe eBay, any other thing, Amazon, just content creation. Just look, are there other ways that I can earn extra money to be
So
able to
save.
increase my money so that I can have something reasonable left over as savings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the truth is that it's easy to say you need to save, you need to be frugal, but if it's not enough, if
Hmm.
you don't, if your job is not paying your bills, it's barely paying your bills, then you really there's just so much that you can do. So if I would always say that if you spent 2 years at your job or 1 year at your job, you should probably start looking for something better. Like you're probably overqualified for that job at that point, because if you put your experience together and then send out your CV, you might be able to get a better paying job.
Yeah, but if the job is increasing your salary or possibly giving you potential for growth, of course you could stay.
Yeah, so
There are
it
some
depends
jobs that,
on,
yeah, it
yeah,
depends. It
it
depends
depends
on
on
your
your,
unique
so you
situation,
might
really.
even to even get a high paying job might just involve a conversation with your HR to say, guys, I need I'm more qualified, more experienced. Can you give me a pay rise? It's just as simple as that. So just think about it and then just take action.
All right, location is another thing.
Location, location, location.
Yeah, I think when it comes to property, location, either investment, buying, location determine cost. So here in the UK, down south, the price of properties are always higher than down north.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, so you can see things like 500, 1 million or something, even in places like London. But if you come down north, you could see 150, 200, and all of that. So somebody in the north could possibly enter into the property ladder faster
Quicker.
compared to somebody in the south. All right, and there are people in the north too that could earn decent or far more better salaries compared to people even in the south. So
The cost of
sometimes it's
living
just,
too is
and the cost
higher
of living,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, in London. So if you're living in London, for example, you have to factor in the increased rent, the transportation, and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. So location, ask
Yeah,
yourself, can I get, if your dream is to buy a house and you're looking at your area and you see that you are probably living in an expensive area, just ask yourself, if I look around me,
mm-hmm.
can I get something cheaper close by that we just need to drive to if you have a car?
Just few minutes drive. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's something to consider when you're buying a house. So the idea is to be smart and to save as much money as
As
possible.
possible.
So that's why we're currently in the city we're at, because we're like, okay, yeah, it makes more sense to stay here. We're saving enough money. We're not spending so much on transportation. It just works for us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you need to look at that. If you work remotely, I mean, it means that you can easily change your location and go somewhere, where it is cheaper for you and all of that. So location matters. Think about it. If you're a family, think about it, the pros and the cons and stuff like that. See what works for you. But just know that when it comes to property ownership, location determines the price of the property. All right. So if you go down north, you possibly will get something cheaper, and you could actually own a piece of a land or something, earlier.
Talking
Yeah.
about location, I would like to know where you're watching from. So drop a message in a comment in the comment section to tell us where exactly you're watching this video from.
All right. Another thing we say is a lifetime ISA.
Yeah.
Is something you need to leverage on if you are actually looking at buying a house. This account is
Somebody
predominantly
say
set up for
free
yeah, it
money.
gives you free money from the government.
I
Yeah,
like free money.
yeah. So it is set up majorly just to support first time buyers. You can also for retirement, right?
Yeah. So the lifetime ISA is the ISA is individual savings account which the government has set up for you to be able to earn money tax free. So in this UK everything is taxed, but if you save your money in an ISA account, you get all your interest tax free. And so like an icing on top of a cake, if you are a first time buyer, you can get £1,000 a maximum of £1,000 from the government in a year
If you save
if
four
you save
thousand pounds.
4,000. So
So let's say anything you save 25%. So like
yeah,
that is just
yeah, me, I like free money, so I have to I have
mm,
to tell you how much you can that you're capable of getting. So the way it works is that if you save £100, the government will give you an additional £25, right? So the best way to go about this is probably set up a direct debit. You don't have to overwhelm yourself, even if it is £100 per month. You can be sending it to the ISA and then work towards getting free money from the government.
yeah, so if you are looking at buying house in the next 2 years or whatever, you can plan. If
Yeah,
you guys are a couple, you can do individually, for example, so
yeah,
that you can put every. Let's say you are looking at a house of 200,000, it means that you need a deposit of like £20,000. If
yeah.
each of you do 4,000 each year, 4,000 this year, an additional 1,000, make it
From the government,
5,000.
that's
Yeah,
5K.
if you do it for 2 years, that is 10,000 for one party, 10,000 for the other party, which is enough to be able to put down as a down pay. So,
So in 2 years, basically, you have 20,000 that you
all
can
right,
pay for your deposit. That's
yeah,
great.
for the lifetime answer, we'll do a video to explain it in detail. We won't be able to cover it, but just for you to know that this is something many people have used in order to be able to save up funds for buying their first home. And I will advise that if you are not looking at the next 6 months, 3 months, or something like that, even if it's in the next 1 year, you can leverage on it an extra 1,000 each from both parties. If you have a partner, that's like extra £2,000. It's still something that can cover the conveyancing and the and
Yeah.
some other things also. So
Yeah, and then there's something someone advised us which was that for your first house you don't have to get the perfect house, like the house of your dreams, quote and unquote. So because the thing is that when people are trying to get the house of their dream, because you have big dreams, you keep trying to hit a target, and the problem with that is that the goalposts keep shifting. Because if, for example, you want to save for 5 years to get a particular 400K house, in that 5 years the house might now be 500K, so you need to keep saving and keep saving. So the idea would be for you as a first time buyer to get on that house ladder as quickly as possible. And for your first house, the beauty of it is that you can get it free of stamp duty.
yeah,
And so there are so many benefits that are available for you. You can There's this deposit schemes that are some first
yeah, first time some house developers does. That's like another way you can use in kinds of
yeah,
saving for your first house. Yeah, some will say, okay, bring 5%, and then we are going to add 5% for you
yeah.
to be able to complete your mortgage money. There are a lot of new developers doing that, which you need to check your area to see if you can find
Yeah,
such
so
options.
5% of 200K, for example, is 10,000. So it just makes it easier for you. So the
Mhm.
idea would just be try to do your research in your area or the area you're planning to buy a house. See if there are schemes available for you to like quickly get on the ladder. So if you the earlier you get on the ladder, the earlier you start building equity, which is like an investment on your own part. So instead of paying your landlord every month to help them with their own mortgage and then make some profit on top, your house rent, for example, will now go towards your own mortgage, and
Mhm.
then you now own a piece of the house that if you sell in, let's say, 5 years time, if you want to move to another bigger place, you get money as your equity on top of the house to be able to get to a new location that you'd like, probably. So don't wait till you have all everything like for the dream house you're trying to get. Just make it try to get as quickly as possible. Practical. Does this house make sense? Is it Will it serve our need? That was all we were
Yeah, yeah,
considering.
yeah.
Does it serve our need? Is it in a good location? We wanted somewhere that was close to my workplace because I go to work regularly, and then we wanted something that is beautiful and decent. And then when we were able to get it at a price we could afford, and then we were like, yeah, let's go for it. But then our dream house would probably be a bungalow somewhere with in a beautiful village that is surrounded with flowers and all of that. And we'll still get there, but then we wanted to get on the ladder as quickly as possible, and that was what we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it. In some one of the things I would say it's around the conception around mortgages is like it's a debt. Yeah, it is. So but you just need to look at it. There are something we call bad debt and
Good
and
debt.
good debt. So I look at it more as a good debt in terms of like you are not investing it over consumables, but you are investing it over something that is an asset.
That
And yeah, and you
appreciated.
are not investing, you are not taking it over a liability. But yeah, house could be a little, but really not because in a way, it's something that is going to appreciate in value also eventually. All right. So you look at that. And also when it comes to mortgages, you can decide to increase the payment as you move on. If you do
Yeah.
it for 30 years, you can increase payment and suddenly you can reduce it to 10 years and stuff like that. All
Yeah.
right. Which is something we approach
Mortgage. Yeah, we did.
and we approach our mortgage what do they call them now, bank that loaned us and say, oh, want to increase it to this amount. Say if you do that, you bring it drastically to this number of years and stuff, and it shows that if we can do the increase a little bit again, or just you can even make bulk payments,
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
bulk payments, to say, but it has limit. So you talk to them and they tell you how much of bulk payment, and that keep reducing it, and you can pay it off. There are people that pay it off within 7 years, 8 years, 5 years. It just depends. So it just gives you access into the ladders, my wife said, and then when you go there, you see how much you can pay in order to be able to get it sorted instead of waiting until the next how many years before you get into the ladder.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we hope you've learned something about things you need to do in order to save to get your first home in the UK. We'll be doing another video about lifetime ASA and others, so please look forward to that. And if there are specific topic, you want us to discuss, maybe related to this or related to something, finance or something, generally around this aspect, please tell us. Just drop a comment there and let us know. We'll look into that. If you have so many people saying, oh, they want this, yeah, possibly we'll do that.
Yeah, or if you have questions as regards buying your first home in the UK, then you can drop a comment and we'll be happy to like guide you through and hold your hands as you go through the process. So our aim is to have as many immigrants like ourselves buying houses and doing well in the UK. So yeah, let's go on that journey together.
All right. And please do well to subscribe. One of the ways you can use to support us is to subscribe.
Yeah.
And it's also to share this video with someone to watch. It could inspire them, it could guide them. And that's what we decided to do with some of the videos that we are chunking out more recently, henceforth. So please share with someone, like it, so that YouTube will know that okay, people get to like this video looks nice, and people so that they can recommend it to people more, and subscribe to our channel so that when we have more videos coming out, you will also be informed.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.